Hello everyone and welcome back. This is part 4 of integrating push notifications into a PWA. So part 3 left off. I'll leave a link in the description for all the other parts. We left off with me having an issue trying to figure out how to parse the subscription result. So what I mean is when a user accepts the request to send push notifications, promise comes back, and that promise has 3 properties that we need to capture. First is the endpoint, which we did successfully capture. The other 2 are auth and d56 and d56 p256dh, which we were not able to successfully capture, mainly because I didn't know what to do with them. But after looking at it a little bit more, I found something on the Google developers website that says, you know what, you can just stringify the whole freaking thing, and that will parse the buffers as well. I didn't realize that JSON.stringify would parse buffers as well, so that turns out to be the case, or at least in this case. So we're going to call stringify directly on the data that comes back from that subscription promise. So that's going to be our first step. As you can see, we're going to do that. And so in order to do that, we need to jump back over to our project here. And let's find, okay, this is the endpoint. I got to find the, where is that? It's going to be in my front web project for sure. I think it's going to be in push registration. Great. Pardon me, I have allergies, so, you know, what can I do? So you'll see here, push manager.subscribe. It's going to return a promise, and this is the promise. The data in this promise is what we need to JSON.stringify. So we're going to change this to JSON.stringify D. Okay, so we can get a look at, we'll get a preview of that while we're at it. So that'll appear in the console. Okay, great. Check. Okay, add properties auth and p256dh to the following pieces of code. My joy validation schema, which you'll probably remember, or not remember, because, you know, no one is watching this truly. From a previous video, PushSubscriptionEndpoint here, you'll see all I have is in fact the endpoint property, which probably means, unfortunately, this name is going to have to change. It's always fun to rename stuff. PushSubscription, there we go. Now, yes, and like, I believe this is actually going to work all the way. I promise. All right. Okay, so the other 2, we need auth, and we're going to call that a joy.string, and that is also, you know, this is really just not necessary. There we go. And this is going to be required as well, and then the p256dh property, which is also going to be a joy.string, which will also be required. Okay. Validation schema updated. Check the route. All right, so I have to go update my route. Oh, I need to change this. This will break. I'll have to make that naming change where I'm referencing that in my front web project. Okay, and close this for now. But for at the moment, handlers. This is my auth handler. I don't need that. I need my push handler. There we go. I'm going to try really hard not to snort, even though I want to right now. Okay, and look at this. So here we go. Endpoint. Right, so this push notify. We need push subscribe. And what I should send is this whole payload into file sync, and we'll check that file we'll check that file after we resubscribe to the push notifications. And of course here, this is no longer right. We're gonna call this push. Oh, I already got something called push subscription. Great. I can maybe do this. Push subscription, because now it should contain all the data relative to that. Yes. Okay. All right, push subscribe and push notify handlers are updated. Great, what's next? Okay, so now it's time to run the business and verify our new properties are being saved. All right, so let's go ahead and rebuild the API server first. Then we'll go ahead, oh, that's where I'm gonna curl from. Okay. So wait for all these to build. I'll go back over here, back to my localhost tab. And let's go ahead and kill our subscriptions again. All right, page is ready to reload. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, right, because I said I had to update, and yet I didn't. So let's run back over there. That is in my routes, my push route. This. Oh, I'm wrong. I love being wrong. There it is. Oh, I want to snort so bad. Okay. Done. In fact, yeah, I'm going to save you. Okay. Let's see. So let's try to rebuild that sucker. Looks like that worked as it should. So we're just waiting on that to rebuild, and we're ready for a reload. In fact, we can go ahead and trigger that. Now look at that. There's a prompt. Now we just need for the API server. Oh. I promise I don't want to strangle my computer or myself at the moment. Push registration. Oh God. And get rid of this and get rid of this. I gotta close some stuff. Obviously, I got too much stuff open. You know what? I probably closed it. In all my hubris, I closed it. So core push subscription. All right. So why am I getting hit? Oh. Required. All right. Let's see if I can manage to not fail a third time. I'm gonna check zero hedge. No. Okay, it's running. It worked. Okay, so here we go. Allow. Okay, I got my nice stringified push subscription. It has all the properties I would be hoping for. So, ooh, auth is required. So it didn't pick up on auth. Oh, I know why. I know why. I got to go into my front core project. I'm not sending all that. So if I go back to my push subscription, not my push registration file module, and you see here it's got save push subscription, and it's looking for that just to be a string because I never updated it. So now I got to go into my front core project. There it is, front core, index, endpoint. You see, it's just, I need to just do this now. Just like that. Okay, and so now I've got to rebuild. I would love to pretend like that hot reloaded and everything else, but we know that's bullshit. It didn't work. Okay. Alright, I gotta set this back to default here. Alright, yes, let's reload. Alright. Endpoint is required. Okay, it's obviously not liking the data that I'm sending up. I wonder if it's because it's stringified. Yeah, you see it's a bunch of stringified data, so it's probably looking for objects. So what happens if I parse this? What do you think? If I stringify it and then I parse it again. Let's take this string. And, will it remain a string or will it? Oh, I see. I feel like I still don't know what's going on with this thing. Alright, so that's happening here. Now let's do this. Let's make stringed. Alright, so we're going to make a const here of our stringified version of that data that has come back. And then we are going, let's go ahead and we don't need to issue this command again. Let's just use stringed. But what I really want to see is, let's make another one. Let's see what this parsed objects looks like now. Okay, we'll leave the API running as it is. We will rebuild the TypeScript. And we will go back over here and we will put it back to default on the push notifications, and we will need to reload. All right, here we are again. Okay, all right. Now you see at least part of the problem is I was hoping, or I was hoping is not the right word. I was presuming that keys, I wasn't thinking about this whole keys nested object here. So we've got to do some fancy dancing on the object that we are sending. And I can hear you now. You're saying, oh, if you'd use a strongly typed language, then you wouldn't have this problem. I have other problems, but I wouldn't have this problem. All right, so we're going to auth parsed dot keys auth and p256, this very memorable string p256dh is going to equal parse dot keys dot p256dh. And I need to close there. You know, I really want to see what this looks like, so we're going to do this. Const rekeyed. I could name it something better, couldn't I? Subscription. And we are going to look at subscription, and we are going to send subscription optimistically, knowing that I couldn't have possibly made yet another mistake. Yeah, I probably could have already set this back to default. Apologies for inefficiencies. Okay. That, it looks good. It looks good. Oh. Now I'm not even sure. I'm going to have to clear these validation errors because I'm not sure. All right. So we're going to let that run again, and we are going to look at what in the hell the problem is. Whoops. If I cared enough to edit these videos, I'd probably bleep that word. All right, so I am having a problem with my validating schema, which is in core. I really wish I could see that requested object. It's one of the things I am struggling with hapi on, is that I'm not sure if there is a way to see what it pre-validated so that I can verify what is coming through. That might be a point of research for me there. All right, but at any rate, I need to go into core and I need to look at PushSubscription and just see. Okay, so, you know, it occurs to me, thinking about how I did this in the handler, thinking that I only had one property that I needed to capture. No, I've got that exactly how it should be. Alright, let's have another look at what is coming into front core, also known as my ajax call. This needs to be changed anyway, as if it's working right now. Okay. Endpoint. This is always the problem. Actually, this should be a promise, I think. Promise. Okay. With these rather elegant looking fat arrow functions, is the moment that you actually need to debug it, you have to like change it. So let's look here. My endpoint data. Let's make sure that looks right coming in, and of course it's not liking something I've done here. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Let's run this uglier bracketed function here. Let's see. I gotta say, I'm not confident this is gonna help me understand what's going on, but it's the next, dare I say, logical step. Uh-oh. Sometimes parcel dev craps the bed. And the bed being my screen. And maybe my life to some extent. Anyhow. Alright, back to default ask. Reload. Alright. Again. This is my endpoint. This looks very good. This is what it should look like. Auth endpoint P256DH. But if I go back here, oh, I don't see an error. Maybe I didn't rebuild it before. Maybe I missed the rebuild. Okay. Well, you know what that means. It's time to check. Well, you don't know what that means. I'm going to tell you what it means. Let's check and see. Oh. Okay, I have an endpoint, but I don't know what it looks like. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's have a quick peek at it here in our little terminal. I don't know why I'm doing it this way, but we're past the point in gold. All right, so I got to go back to my handler in my API project. There we go. TS handlers push, and we need to JSON.stringify the request payload. Which probably means, and I'm just guessing here, that we probably need to JSON.stringify this. And I know, it probably should have been a const always, but let's do this. Const, this is going to be str push subscription. Const push subscription equals JSON.parse str push subscription. Okay. Why doesn't it like this? Oh, right, because it's a buffer. There. Okay. That's looking. It's looking. Alright, requeue default behavior here for push notifications yet again. Still building. Built. Still building. All right, we're up and moving. Let's see what happens now. Why do I feel like I should have gotten something from that and I didn't? Now I have nothing. I find that very strange. And that's not any... Damn. I thought I had it. There's something... This This is my endpoint data. Yes. Now I don't even know if I'm hitting that route. Let's see what this request.payload. Well, I should be getting some kind of error here if it doesn't like to stringify that payload. All right, so the other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna delete that endpoint. We're gonna go rm cc hapi endpoint.text. Okay, so that's gone. It can't. All right, so it'll definitely be a fresh one. Let's go ahead and okay. We are ready to reload when the API is rebuilt. I don't think I need to run this. I am going to inspect this again because it's like it didn't get called. But no, it did because I saw this is my endpoint data. Oh, it's too late. I already refreshed it. Okay, we're ready. Yeah, see, this is my endpoint data. I feel like maybe they didn't get called last time. Like maybe I hit the wrong button. Hey, look at that. All right. That looks really nice. Let's see. Look, my endpoint is in the endpoint text file. This is very good news. Okay, that leaves us with one step to curl. Push notify in order to get a push notification to come through to the browser. As much as I'd like to say this is the moment of truth, I got an okay, but I didn't get a push notification. You gotta be kidding me. What does that mean? All right, back to my handlers. Oh, this is my auth handler. I need my push handler. There it is. Push notify. Maybe this shouldn't be like this. Maybe I should do this in a finally. Or maybe it shouldn't be in a finally because I probably shouldn't be returning okay if it's not okay. Maybe I should be doing this. Not okay. JSON.stringify e. Alright. You know what? That's fine. I don't know what send. It might give me a message actually. Okay. There we go. Okay, so in the event that it works, we're going to get a return okay with a stringified result of whatever this send notification returns, the promised data from that. I could go back and look at the API. I might have to, and if not, I will see an error, or I'll see not okay with the stringified error. Oh wait, I did get an error. Okay, to send a message with a payload, it must have the subscription must have the auth and P256DH keys. You know, I really thought I added this. That is what I thought I did. But it doesn't appear to be that way. So then I'm left to wonder two things. First, what on earth does this push subscription look like Oh yeah, that's really cute. And they call it IntelliSense, whatever. Okay, push subscription. Okay, we're gonna look and see what a push subscription looks like. And while that's rebuilding, we are going to check the web push documentation again. And just make sure that I'm assigning properties correctly based on their documentation. It's the send notification. Headers, crypt. Okay, send notification. All right, so, look at that. I went through all that trouble to take the keys key out when I really needed to keep the keys key. And so now I'm gonna have to go back, and I'll tell you, I really gotta decide if, yeah, okay, we're gonna do that. We're going to update my validation schema to match, to be looking for a keys object, and we're gonna do keys. I think I can do this. I really don't know. This is new ground for me with Joy. This is the happy Joy part of the stack is something that's new to me. Probably more familiar with Express, but I really like some of the production ready features in Happy, so I am willing to accept the learning curve. All right, so I've changed what my schema is expecting. I need to go here and change this. I think I can just use parsed now. Okay, great. And I shouldn't need to change the front core call because the properties are the same. I shouldn't need to change anything in my handler because I'm literally just saving what is coming through, right? Push subscribe, yes, that's all. Okay, so we are going to make believe that that's all that needs to be done. And let's go ahead and rebuild. Actually, let's remove that endpoint. And now let's trigger a TypeScript rebuild. Let's set this back up. Okay, it's ready to reload. And that's all running. Let's see what happens. Okay, that all looks fine. I have extra, yeah. I knew when for whatever reason, I knew that was about to happen because that expiration time does not need to be there. Now I've got a couple options. I can thin that out a couple ways. I guess I'm just going to delete the property for now. So what we'll do here is we'll go delete parsed expiration time. Let's make sure there's nothing else. Yeah, it should just be expiration time. Okay. I'm going to do a check here just to make sure it exists. really don't have. I really like this. I love using that pretty ternary syntax, but it obviously does not work there. All right, that works fine. All right. I really don't think I need this anymore. Okay. Rebuild it one more time, but I don't need to rebuild the back. I need to rebuild the front. Oh yeah. By the time I get the hang of this, I will already like that. Yeah, it happened again. Okay. We're gonna refresh this one more time. All right, cool. All right. Let's see what fresh errors. I think that was a previous error. I don't think that's a current error. We can find out real quick. Okay, well, that was a current error. Loads of fun. Okay, so I'm still getting blasted. Oh, right, because I did need to rebuild. Because I changed my schema. I changed my validation schema. That's all it was, I'm sure. I mean, what else could be wrong? Okay. Oh, you know what? It was null, which means that this truthy evaluation does not work. Right. I gotta check to see. You know what? I don't like this. This is a stupid way to do this. What we're gonna do is we're going to make another subscription object, and we're just gonna pick what we need out of the parsed object. So the first is the endpoint parsed.endpoint keys parsed.keys. There. Now I can just do subscription. All right. All right, rebuild the front end one more time. We will also reset this answer to default. All right. Okay, nothing there. Let's see if we have an endpoint. We do. Let's have a look at it. Endpoint, keys, all looks good. Okay. Yeah. Somehow I managed to shift Q. Okay. Time to curly. Why is this? Oh, come the fuck on. I don't know why this. Sometimes my cursor does this. Of course. Localhost. I might need to do this. localhost 3001 push notify. That looks good. I don't see that I got a notification though. Yeah, and it has the OK key, meaning that it accepted it. But it's not here. Do you get push notifications if the window's up? Do I have to close this? Let's see. Huh. It did not work. It apparently thinks it worked. It's probably some of these extra properties I need to set. Okay. Well, for whatever that's worth, it's clear that my endpoint, all my code is working. I'm saving it and Google's accepting it. So it should forward that notification through Google. So maybe there's some options that I need to figure out. Okay. Well, that is it for my plan this evening. I will do some research around what options I might need to. I got a 201 status code. I forget. That's not as good as a 200. I know that. I don't know what a status code 201 is. I can't remember. Code 201. Created. That's actually a really good resource. I mean, a really good status code. The resource was created. Well, where did it go, guys? Okay. Subject for part 5. We've done what we can for the evening. So I thank you for joining me, and I look forward to next time.